Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. Do we have any?
We
I
have one
welcome
guest.
you all to our 260-second meeting of Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club. Club has a mission. The mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are encouraged to speak up, are empowered to develop communications and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. Before starting the meeting, I would like to point out three ground rules that we follow in our meetings. Number one, please turn off your mobile phones or put them on silent mode. Let's take 10 seconds to do that. Number two, please keep yourself on mute unless you are speaking. And rule number three, please refrain yourself from speaking about sex, religion, and politics in a derogatory manner. We are here for a healthy discussion. For further proceedings, please help me in welcoming our presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Shaunak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kurt, for such a regenerating introduction of today's meeting. I welcome you all for 261 meeting of the Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club. Following the path of Toastmaster ideology, Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club provide a collaborative and meaningful environment to all the members who are part of this club and also to the guests. We empower people where they can improve their interpersonal skills. Not only that, we also emphasize on developing their leadership skills, where people are encouraged to take different roles, not only at the club level, but there is a hierarchy where they can take up roles at the area, district, and so on level, and provide a medium where they can collaborate not only for their own personal growth, but for the overall development of the organization. So starting today's meeting, we have our guest today, Mr. To be Toastmaster Shiva. May I invite him to come on and tell us something about himself, what encouraged him to join for today's meeting, and what is that he aspires for, and what he is looking from this organization and from this meeting today. Over to you, to be Toastmaster Shiva.
Yes, Master. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
My name is Shiva. You may call my full name is Shiva Shankara Kumar. You can call me Shiva. I work for an organization called Nokia. You must be knowing about this organization. And I'm a long timer of Nokia, basically. It's almost 22nd year, which is in progress now. And I used to be a very active member of Toastmasters Club long back. So right from 2012, I guess. It was a long stint, but then because of my career as well as personal priorities, I was forced to take a long break. Okay? So I'm back into the fold of Toastmasters Club and very happy and glad to see young, energetic people in this forum. I could not see all the people online, but yes, I can see a high energy in this room. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Toastmaster Shiva, and glad to know that you are part of the team organization for the last 22 years, and you were a Toastmaster, and we are really looking forward, to be a Toastmaster soon. Thank you so much. So, without wasting any further time, I would like to introduce our young, dynamic, and energetic Toastmaster of the day today, Toastmaster Sanskar. A big round of applause for him.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shaunak, for that wonderful introduction. Hi, my name is Sanskar, and good morning to you all, Toastmasters and soon to be Toastmasters. I welcome you to a brand new day and a brand new session. On a good note, as your first TMOD, I would like to start this meeting on a good note. Be afraid, don't be afraid of the competition. Be afraid of the absence of competition. That's when you stop growing. Our theme for the meeting today, inspiration. Inspiration is that one spark in that human being which makes you push harder, dream bigger, and strive amidst the challenges, which makes one say, you can. Inspiration in today, in a world full of competition, inspiration can act as that secret weapon which all of us can adopt. Inspiration is that thing which keeps, when the world is doing the bare minimum, it keeps you motivated and keep you going. While inspiration, right. Inspiration without any discipline and consistency is nothing. What is the point when you have thought of something and you cannot do anything? Take, for example, I was watching this documentary on better money habits. I followed it for a week, but after that week, I went on with my quick commerce app and just started shopping, window shopping, and etc. Today, let's not just talk about inspiration. Let's create it and share our stories, and we can gain our lessons a few or two from. So, moving on with the structure of our speech today, which we have planned. Prepared speeches, which come first, then comes our table topics and the evaluation part. I would now like to hand it over to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Akansha. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Sanskar. So, as a general evaluator for today, my role is to evaluate the entire session from beginning till the end, and also evaluate the evaluation speeches that would be delivered by the evaluators for the respective speakers. And without much further ado, let me call on my tag team, the soldiers who would be supporting me in evaluating the today's session. So, I believe the timer is running late. So let us start off with the R counter and the grammarian, which would be the language evaluator. So calling upon Toastmaster Aryan, who is the language evaluator for today's session. Over to you, Toastmaster Aryan.
Hello all, good morning. I will be your language evaluator today. I am responsible to make sure that your language is spick and span and very good. So my role has two halves. One is the accountant and the second is the grammarian. As the grammarian, it is my responsibility to point out the good usages of words, bad usages of words, and Adam is also here by the way. And I will give you my report at the end of the day. I am also responsible to give you the word of the day. Are there any guesses what the word of the day is? Anybody? No. Any
It's the
recommendations?
word of the day.
Yes.
Give some hint, no?
Do you have a guess?
Give some hint. Some
Okay.
like broad theme for us.
It is a very inspirational word. Inspiring. Okay.
Aryan.
Aryan. Okay. It is an inspirational word that you inspiring there.
Zeal.
Akansha is an inspiring one. Akansha.
It is a synonym for inspiring.
Harsh. Sanskar.
It is not a name.
Motivation.
Motivation. Okay. You guys are close.
Vision.
Vision.
Perseverance.
Perseverance. You got it. That is the goal. So perseverance is your ability to keep going despite obstacles. So today, your audience is your obstacle if you're afraid of the audience, and we have the opportunity to persevere anyways and speak in front of them. Perseverance is the word of the day. Anshuman, please put it in the chat. And that is as my role for grammarian. For our counter, I'm responsible to make sure that each of our speeches have as little fillers as possible. You know, likes. I'll be counting those and giving them to you at the end of the meeting so that you know where you stand when it comes to ours. With that, back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajan, language evaluator for the day. And just to reiterate, the word of the day today is perseverance. And I hope that everybody would use it at least once. And there is a lot of scope for using this word. So moving on and calling upon the timer for today's session, Toastmaster Nancy. Toastmaster Nancy, over to you.
Just keep the page and show it on your phone. Wait. I'll do it. You just
Do
time
not
it.
have Toastmaster Nancy, right?
Just a second.
Sorry?
Maybe someone else can.
Toastmaster
I'll
Nancy.
give it for you. And you can give it.
For our counter, maybe you can give timer ID.
I'll sort of the video and give it. You give it.
You are-
Just give it. Wait.
I have already option. Just give me a minute.
Can we have someone share the screen?
I just read it. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Toastmaster Nancy.
Okay, so as timer, I'll time the table topic speeches. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to not more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll raise green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll raise the red card. Additional 30 seconds will be grace time to wrap up. And those giving speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Icebreaker speeches should be 4 to 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 5 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card. At 6 minutes, I'll raise the red card. Additional 30 seconds will be the grace time to wrap up. More than other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I'll raise green. At 6 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll raise the red card. Again, additional 30 seconds will be the grace time to wrap up. Anything else? Thank you. Back to general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nancy.
Akanksha is there.
So, the theme today is inspiration. And I believe that this is something that resonates deeply with all of us. And all of us would have something to share about the events that have inspired us to reach the position that we are today at. So, inspiration is that powerful spark, a flash of an idea, a push to try something new, or the courage to share our voices and persevere through the storms of life. As your general evaluator today, I will try to act as the mirror and I'll be looking for those flashes of inspiration in our meeting today, not just in prepared speeches, but in every role and every contribution that we have for today's meeting. I'll be observing how we inspire each other to grow, to learn, and to strive for excellence. And I will be providing my comprehensive report at the end of the session. Until then, all the best to all our inspiring role players today. And over to the team mod of today's session, Toastmaster Sanskar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akanksha. Now, I would like to conduct a story session with us all today. Who would like to share this inspiring story with us? Toastmaster Aryan.
Me. All right. Sure. Yes. A story of inspiration. Hmm. I had a mentee that I found a few weeks back. He or she was very passionate about Toastmasters, and they reminded me of how I was when I first joined. He or she had so many ideas about how to run the club, how to move forward with the club, and eventually we decided that we'll hold a contest. And I was having a tough time during the contest. I was engaged at home, I was engaged in work. And it turns out I, who was planning the contest, was not available to plan the contest. And my mentee, who had been even busier, ended up orchestrating the whole contest. She had never orchestrated a contest before. She had been only part of some smaller roles. And yet, without my help, without any support, she was able to carry it out by herself. That was a very inspiring story for me because she did it without being passive aggressive or being only a little bit mad at me. And I was inspired that she was able to carry it all out without my help. That is my inspiring story. Back to you.
Thank you for sharing us the story, Toastmaster Aryan. Wonderful story and very inspiring. I would like to now share a story of mine. So it all starts again with the 11th grade when I was growing up and started realizing my potential more to do more. And it was a time when I was very lazy and lethargic, perhaps say. And there was this one guy being the center of attraction for everyone. He was exceptional at studies and he was highly extroverted. I wanted to be like him. But again, deep inside me, I kind of hated him as well because there were some very bad traits which came with him. The total package wasn't good, and people started idolizing him. And instead of taking those few healthy habits or traits, started adopting. People just started adopting his lifestyle as a whole package. And inspiration is very opposite from idolizing. Inspiration, as I said, are those few healthy habits which makes a person grow. And what is the point when you have lost yourself? And with that, I would like to end our story session. Do we have time for our do we have time for the table topics? Right. We'll go with prepared speeches first. Prepared speech, right, sorry. So let us introduce our well speakers and evaluators who all are available with us today. First evaluator. Okay, and speaker two as well? Vidhu. Vidhu. Okay. I would like to now introduce to us our speaker, Toastmaster Shaunak, and his evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster Aryan.
My target speaker, Toastmaster Shaunak, will be giving a general speech today from his path, Presentation Mastery, I believe. And I'm interested to see how well he does. First speech as the director, and I'm excited. Best of luck to you, Toastmaster Shaunak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aryan. The title of my speech today is Fast Track to Forever. Now, you all must be thinking about it, what exactly it is. People who are married, they must have got their videos shot at the time of the wedding so that they can see, down years later, just to, feel that nostalgia of that marriage. And it's a memory that always, you always want to cherish and you to keep it aside with you. But you must have realized that these marriages have been shot to a greater length, the way it's been conducted. But when you actually see it, you don't see the entire content of it. You focus on certain people or the events that has happened at the time of the wedding. Agree with me? You all agree with me? You don't see the complete length of it. Okay. You agree with me, Aryan and Sanskar and Kansha, right? Though you're not married yet. So I'll tell you, I really don't need that because my marriage happened in a fast forward way. And that's what I'm going to tell you all today. 15 years back, I got married, and the groom's procession was supposed to go from Rajasthan to Haryana, from where my wife belonged. At that point of time, there was not direct connectivity between Rajasthan and Haryana. So the preferred way that we took to came to Delhi, and from Delhi we took a bus that was hired to take the groom's procession to Haryana. Now, from my native place to Delhi, it was a 6 to 7 hours of journey, and again from Delhi to Haryana, it was 6 to 7 hours of journey. So supposed to be a hectic day, considering we had somewhere around 50, 60 members, and it was extreme winter, so we had a lot of luggage, and considering for every marriage you have additional luggage with you. So by the time we reached Delhi, the driver was there. Unfortunately, we were not aware how that driver is. The journey, which we were supposed to cover in 5 to 6 hours, it took us 8 to 9 hours by the time we reached the wedding venue. Back then, there were not many hotels there which were open till late night and to cater 50, 60 people at 11 o'clock at night. Thanks to my in-laws, they managed to keep the place secure, and we were offered hot food because there is a prestige which is also associated for such events and all. So I'm really grateful for them, taking care of all of us, knowing their own limitations because things were not readily available at that point in time. Anyways, so that's how my wedding journey started. The very next day, it was a normal day, chill day. We were doing all the preparations. Everyone was busy since we all were together. We were having a great time. The ceremonies were flowing in at both the families. Around 6 o'clock in the evening, I received a call from my brother-in-law that how are things happening? What time you intend to reach at the venue? I said, we are all getting ready. Probably it should take another hour or so for us to start from here. He presumed, based on his experience, that he's saying 1 hour because there are so many people, should easily take 2 hours. And by the time they'll reach the venue, it should be 9 o'clock because they will dance on the way and will have their own sweet time, coming, enjoying, and giggling and all the way. So he assumed that we'll be there by 9 o'clock. And the same message was passed on to the family members. At 7:30, he was informed that the groom's procession has already reached the venue. And then the situation of chaos happened because from bride's side, there was no one at the venue because they were in assumption that we will take our own time, and by the time we'll reach, it should be around 9:30. Even the bride was not ready, and so the people there. Everyone was summoned to the venue, and they rushed there to welcome the groom's procession. Anyways, at my side, most of the people were elderly people and all. So they were in a hurry because the next morning we had to start back for my native because the following day we had the reception plan and our set of guests were also coming. So we were supposed to leave next morning by 5 o'clock, and my parents were wanted to to have those rituals and all on time so that everyone will get some time to rest because the another date will again be a long journey. And there were two muhurats or the auspicious times which were allocated. One was at 8 o'clock, another was at 1 o'clock. So my side of family wanted to have everything start by 8 so that we'll get comfortable time to do all the ceremonies after the Varmala, and then we'll have some time to relax, and then we can leave by 5 o'clock. But in reality, things doesn't happen that way. People don't even reach the venues at 8 o'clock. So by the time we reached there were hardly people because we were the odd ones who reached early. And by the time the guests start following, it was really difficult to start the ceremony at 8 o'clock. So I requested my parents, let's do at 1 o'clock. I know it will be difficult for us, But considering people are coming and it's really difficult, to get away from the stage at that point of time, eventually they agreed to that. And by the time we did all these ceremonies and all, it was already 2 o'clock at night. To another surprise, the driver came at 2 o'clock and said, "Sir, I cannot take the bus in the morning because the axle has broken and I have to wait for the market to get open." Now, at 2 o'clock in the night, in the middle of the winter, where will you find a bus to take 50, 60 people? My in-laws, my brother-in-law, they rushed to every possible place they can think of to arrange for a bus. Thankfully, they managed to arrange a local bus which used to commute daily between my native in-laws native and Gurgaon. They canceled and make the bus available at 5 o'clock for us. We all boarded the bus on time and started for Delhi. We just covered half an hour. We got to know there was a murder which has happened in one of the villages, and the villagers have blocked the complete highway and they are not letting anyone pass. So there was a chaos and panic happened. We don't know what timelines there will be for that passage and how things will shape up considering the situation. Effectively, after hour or so, the government was able to manage that and they opened that highway. And again, we started our journey. After covering hour or so, there was a VIP wedding for which they have blocked the highway and they had given a detour through some villages and all. Unfortunately, that was an unknown territory. No one was aware how much time will it take. By the time we reached the station, there were just 10 minutes for the train to leave the station, and we were not even hit the station at that point of time. Everyone took whatever they can based on their available capacity, and they can think of and rush towards the station to board the train. And considering there were elderly people as well. So we all somehow managed, and thankfully, we boarded the train just a minute before it was supposed to start. And that time I realized, yes, that's a mission achieved. And that's why I say my wedding was a fast track wedding where I don't need to say, do the fast forwarding of my wedding tape. It happened in that way. So that was my story. What's your story? Thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful. Great speech we have seen today, a very funny one at that point. So I would like to now give it over to our Toastmaster Anshuman to introduce to our speakers and evaluators. Thank you.
Speech objectives.
Hmm?
The speech objectives for it.
Right. Speech objectives.
Right.
Anshuman, my speech title is Less is More.
Less is more, and like a L1 P2 sort of speech.
You can keep it like general speech. I just written it now.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Vidhu. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be evaluator for Toastmaster Vidhu, who's going to present a general speech on less is more. And I look forward to learning how less is more. So the timer, please note the time of the speech is going to be 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanskar.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Now, calling upon our evaluator for the evaluator, right? Speaker.
Evaluator.
Speaker. Toastmaster Vidhu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanskar. Hello, Toastmasters. I came from a time when less was more. I still remember that single glass of Robza could fill my life with so much thrill. I still recall that one 5 rupees Lay's packet feels like striking gold. I came from 90s and 2000s. And in those times, less was more. I still remember when I was afraid if my friend's dad pick up the phone on the landline. And I still recall that one single friend was the entire universe. There were conversations, but it always felt full. Unlike How is it today when we receive every single day so many messages? But we don't go back and even remember one of them. There is so much apps available, but there is no connection. In those times, we fight on that Pokemon card at the recess that was filled with joy and happiness. That one class teacher who was like a god to us. And then one tuition teacher who felt like a lifetime mentor. Those small moments were so much content in terms of life. Silence was not empty, but silence was full of hope. Somebody even giving a call and we not picking up that single call and even not responding back in 1 week never felt like there is some communication gap. It always felt that the person is somewhere busy and it was always full of that hope. One missed call means I am thinking about you. There was no emojis, there was no gifs, just meaningful messages. Now we have more apps but less connection, more playlist but no music, more shows but no stories, more Pokemon plays but no playful feelings. We scroll, and we swipe and we refresh. That is how we are spending our time nowadays. I always think like what we are really thinking. Do we always look for a perfect caption or maybe like a perfect life to show it to others? We weren't meant to have so much noise around us. What our mind need is silence. We need stillness. Our soul wants space. The more we consume, the less we reflect, and the more we collect, the less we feel. We are exhausted because we have never switched off. Now everything feels bigger, faster, louder, and yet we feel emptier every single day. I have so many of you sitting here, I still feel disconnected. Maybe it's time that we stop chasing abundance and return to awe. Not in everything, but maybe just one thing fully. Because the truth is, a single flower, when unnoticed, is worth more than a garden full of flowers ignored. And a single conversation without distraction feels like coming back home. More is less, specifically for me, because I have lived in that time when less was more. Over to you, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Sanskar.
Table topics. Okay. Okay. Wonderful speech today. We have seen by Toastmaster Shaunak and Toastmaster Vidhu. Moving on with our table topics. Over to you, Toastmaster Harsh, as our table topic master for the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanskar. Let me unpin your screen first. I'll do it later. Let's start with the table topics. Who would like to go first?
No one, of course.
Okay, then. All right, I'll start with people who haven't spoken yet.
I would like to nominate Toastmaster Nancy for the table topic.
Yes, Toastmaster Nancy. Yay. Toastmaster Nancy. Uh, Let me think of an interesting topic for you. Should we always follow our passion? Should we always follow our passion, Toastmaster Nancy?
Should we follow our passion? Answer is yes. So, when we follow our passion, we work hard, and whatever our passion is, we, I mean, we work hard day and night, and because that is the field where we are interested into, we can be perfect into that field. It's not about that. I mean, every time it's not that whatever we have, whatever our passion is, we will get that. I mean, we will get the chance to grow there. But the point is, we should not leave our passion. So even if we are into a job or in any industry which was not our passion earlier, but the point is the passion which we were interested into should continue there. We should not stop there. So it keeps us alive, I would say. So I think we should always follow our passion and grow there. That's all from my side. Yeah. Thank you, Raj.
It keeps us alive. What a wonderful state. Thank you, Toastmaster Nancy. Moving ahead, I'd like to invite our guest for the table topic to be Toastmaster Shiva.
Yes.
Yes. Topic for you is: do you think inspiration is overrated? Do you think that inspiration is overrated to be Toastmaster Shiva?
Shiva, Toastmaster Shiva.
Toastmaster Shiva. Inspiration is overrated. That's the topic which is given to me. See, I was just following up the speech of Toastmaster Vidhu. Sorry. You know, less is more. I am coming from a era of 70s where there were zero is more, or nothing is more, or nothing was more. Those days, we never had any opportunity to get a decent book to read. We need to spend hours inside the library to go through and understand some basic knowledge about science, history, and mathematics those days. But today, as you see, that it's completely contradicted to the previous era. Too much of information. You will get everything on fingertips. Likewise, those days, you hardly see people who will be inspiring you. Mostly, and in my experience, most of the people who was from 70s, 80s, and 90s, our inspiration were always our parents. And we follow them. We follow their footprint always. But then if you see today, like the Toastmasters of the day's concept of idealism is different from inspiration. You see many people, many young energetic people are simply following the ideals and the leaders and assuming that they are the inspirations, which is not true. Inspirations comes from small things. It can be even from a small flower. It can be from a small tree. It can be from a pet. It can be from a people just next to you. For example, I am highly inspired by the Toastmasters of the day, despite being on a Saturday, being a teen, I guess he's a teen, and he could able to focus his effort, energy, time for this important session to bring up his competence, capability. Yeah, I was very much inspired by him. What do you, Toastmaster?
Thank you, Toastmaster Seva. A wonderful story taking us back to the time, to your younger times and showing how the sources of inspirations have changed along the time. All right, moving on.
Harsh, may I request you to give me a table topic? I have to leave somewhere.
All right, yes. Toastmaster Shaunak. Mm, Toastmaster Shaunak, what legacy do you want to leave behind? What legacy do you want to leave behind, Toastmaster Shaunak?
I was listening to Toastmaster Shiva narration about the perseverance, and I totally agree with him. And something that I want to leave behind is not just about the money or the fortune which I have earned for my kids, but it's the perseverance. It's it's something I want them to follow because money, property, and all they will be leave behind. And if they'll not take care of that, they will ruin everything what all I have built in my lifespan. So I want them to be first. They should know what is the value of money. They should be capable enough where they know how to deal with the nuisance of the life. Until or unless they are not perceived enough where they want to achieve what they want to, they'll not be able to retain anything which will be passed them as a legacy. So this is something I really want them and want them to aspire off because what all I have achieved so far, it's coming on from my own perseverance. I was never a very good student, and no, neither am I right now. But it's again, I'm just trying hard where I can be a better version of myself. I know what I was, and today what I am, I'm far better than what I am. And by the time I'll die, I'll be a much better version of what I am as of today. So this is coming from a perceived being a perceived person where I know what my flaws are, where I want to make an improvement in myself, and that's what something I want to pass on to my children. Because money and everything, if they know how to deal with the life, they can earn everything for themselves, and they can even multiply what I'm leaving for them. So that's all from my side. Thank you to you.
Wow, very well said. Instead of living behind tangible things, you want to live behind values which can be carried forward. Deep, deep thoughts.
So,
Okay.
guys, apologies, I have to leave early today, but I'll connect with you next week. See you. Take care. Have a great weekend.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye bye, Toastmaster Shaunak. See you. Okay. Our next topic is for Toastmaster Akansha. Oh, Sanskar was
No worry.
the current topic. I'll come to you, Sanskar, after Akansha. Toastmaster Akanksha, your topic is what would be your next TEDx topic? What would be your next TEDx topic, Toastmaster Akanksha?
Making life decisions after school and college has been so daunting and so traumatizing for me that I cannot put it in words. Until school and college, everything had a structure. You know, you have to go to the classes, you know, you need to ace the exams, you know that you need to participate in clubs and get good marks, and you're sorted for life. There are a lot of lies that I've been told, you know, that at least for me, my parents told me, beta, just do class, only study till class 8. That is when you need to put in efforts. And this was told to me in class 6, study for 2 more years. And I was like, okay, 2 more years, I'll push through it. I reached class 8th, beta, study for 2 more years. Class 10th boards, if you score 98%, 95%, your life is set. Okay, 2 more years, I reached class 10th. And again, beta, 2 more years. 12th boards, take PCM, and you are sort for life. I was like, okay, 2 more years. And then I finished my boards, and now it's time for college. Beta, 4 more years? I mean, it never ended. And I, not to lie, but I really did think about giving a TEDx speech when I was in college. And the topic that I always thought of that I would speak about is the lie that has been told to most of the students or the young kids, that life is not about 2 more years or 4 more years. We need to have that clarity right from the beginning that learning is a never ending journey. Learning is something that we need to learn, the art of learning forever and ever. It's never always about 2 more years, 3 more years, or 4 more years. After college, you need to decide what path you need to take in your job. After you reach there, then you need to start thinking about the certifications you need to climb up the ladder and the leadership qualities that you need to develop. Once you're done with that, then you need to learn about how to make a marriage work, how to raise your kids. So, the next TEDx speech or the first ever TEDx speech that I give would be about the power of learning forever and ever, and to break the delusion that you only need to learn or, work hard or persevere for a few years. Thank you. Over to the TTM of the day, Toastmaster.
Wow, that actually felt like a TEDx speech, except I would say a TEDx background. Looking forward to being in the audience at your speech. Uh, okay, we have Toastmaster Sanskar who wants to take on the stage for a table topic, or do you want to?
Table topic.
Okay. Hmm. Toastmaster Sanskar, a moment where you surprised yourself. A moment where you surprised yourself. Toastmaster Sanskar.
A moment where you surprise yourself. So it all comes back to chess when I was just started playing chess. And I was in the beginning phase where I had completed 3 months of the program of some club which I was attending to. And my coach told me to play some competitions because it has been some time where you can just try going to a beginner friendly competition and might as well hone your skills. So I thought to myself, okay, it all sounds good. But I even thought, yeah, I should spare myself the moment of embarrassment in that competition. So maybe I should back out of it. But instead, I still got with it again. I still got with it. And I, overall, when the competition all ended and all, I had won at least 4 or 5 out of 7 rounds. I surprised myself what I had done in those 3 months. And that was the moment when I thought I should I should hone my skills more and even aim for district, state, national quality, even go for international, even damn it. So in the end, this was a moment which surprised me all in all. And now I'm at a rating where I have reached a peak of 1200, so to call it unofficially. Thank you. Now over to you, Toastmaster Harsh.
Wow, that was an inspiring story, Toastmaster Sanskar. Uh,
Oh, right. Right. Okay.
Harsh, are we taking any other table topics?
Anshuman is there.
yes, I guess
Take
we short of time.
there, right?
Two more table topics.
Sanjana was also there. Let's give her a table
Yes,
topic.
yes. Let's take two more topics and then we can carry on with the meeting. Toastmaster Sanjida, are you up for a topic? Sanjida, are you there?
Harsh, you can take
Move on, Harsh. Move on.
Anshuman first. Yeah. If Sandra is not available right now.
Toastmaster Anshuman.
Yes, Toastmaster Harsh.
Yes. Toastmaster Anshuman. A movie you will never watch again. A movie you will never watch again. Toastmaster Anshuman.
Mo- Movies are meant to be enjoyed, seen, devoured, and has an expectation that we'll go into a movie theater, have fun, and have a great time. But at times, there are movies which really bomb, even despite the potential promise it has to offer. So one of them I remember was Bombay Velvet. Bombay Velvet being Karan Johar's debut and Anurag Kashyap's big grand arrival at the Bollywood stage was supposed to be an amazing movie with a star cast like Ranbir Kapoor and Anushka Sharma, meant to have a canvas which enthralls all of us. However, as soon as me and my group of friends during college days went to the movie hall, we could not even comprehend where the movie line was going. So much so that within 10 minutes, I was getting a feeling that this storyline is not getting anywhere. Karan Johar is quite funny, but he was not supposed to be funny. And the other characters are also just having a good time, being part of the movie, but not for the storyline. It was one of the first times I remember I and my friends took a decision within 15 minutes of movie hall of deciding to leave the movie hall despite paying a handsome ticket fee for a central Connaught Place theater. So that was one of the most horrible movie experiences I've been part of. Experiences for 15 to 20 minutes and left the hall right away. Over to you, Toastmaster Harsh.
I'm so glad I haven't watched this movie. And after hearing that feedback, I'll never watch it. All right. So, in the interest of time, and seeing that most of us have given a table topic or a speech, let's end the table topic session and I'd like to hand over the stage back to our team all. Toastmaster
We
Sanskar.
checked Toastmaster Sanjita once again. Toastmaster Sanjita, are you there or have you passively joined? I all I will be available in a few minutes. Okay. All right. I think we'll have to move on with the agenda, unfortunately.
Yes.
All right. Over to you, Toastmaster Harsh.
All right. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanskar.
Okay, thank you, Harsh. It must have been and again, huge thanks to our guest and Toastmasters for taking the initiative in doing the on the spot speeches and taking the initiative in telling your stories. I think we have all been inspired today and gained a few lessons or two, if not. I would like you guys to now incorporate some few habits into your, maybe take it, you can do it in on a weekly basis or a month, preference always dependent on you, of course. Write down some goals, write down the challenges which come from it, and how you are overcoming it. These three things, write it down. I'll share you for my example. I have wrote down some goals which are gym, communication, and certification. So now the challenges which come with it are, for gym I am having some time crunch maybe not now because I'm having a sort of a holiday, call it. So I have the time to do some gym, and while it comes to communication, I also still have the time again. Coming to coming to certification, I have the lack of study resources to properly train myself for the certification for the exams, and how I'm overcoming it. I've planned a schedule for being regular through my gym, and I've for communication, I'm participating more and taking the initiative in preparing the speeches and showing it to you all in the classes, in the club meetings. As for certifications, I'm still in progress of how I will overcome it, as it is a lot of difficulty in getting over the study materials. In the end, inspiration isn't what we wait for, it's what we choose and we make it happen. It is that feeling which you spark inside you and you follow it with consistency, discipline, courage, you name it. With that, I would like to now hand it over to our general evaluator for the meeting, Toastmaster Akansha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanskar. And beautifully said that inspiration is not something that happens, it is something we choose for ourselves and then achieve our goal through hard work, courage, perseverance, and never giving up. Amazing session today, and what a great theme it was. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Sanskar. So, moving on to our evaluation segment for today's session, I would now like to call upon the first evaluator for the first speaker of the day, which was Toastmaster Shonak, and Toastmaster Aaron would be delivering the evaluation. So, Toastmaster Aaron, over to you.
Thank you for that, General Evaluator Toastmaster Akanksha. Unfortunately, the speaker had to leave, but I will still be delivering his evaluation. Toastmaster Shaunak delivered a very relatable story today. The story of the Indian wedding. Chaos, fights, people getting late, buses not being found. And I saw something great in him that I have not seen before. He incorporated a new kind of vocal variety that I have not seen him use before. In the middle of his sentence, he would suddenly switch his tone and go into a different part of the speech. He would incorporate a different mode of explaining his emotion. How we had been expecting this great thing to happen, but the bus is no more. And with that vocal variety, he was able to keep me hooked and drive me through the ups and downs of his marriage journey and the chaos that comes in any Indian wedding. That was one great thing I definitely noticed in his speech today. The second great thing, I don't know if the people online noticed, just as the speech was about to come to an end, his phone rang and he kept speaking, just put it on mute and did not even hesitate. It is very surprising for any speaker, very scary that in the middle of a speech, your phone is ringing, anybody's phone is ringing, any sort of chaos is going on. But the fact that he was so comfortable with the stage that he was able to figure it out, that is very iconic. That is very iconic. This is what he must have felt like. That was something great that I saw him incorporate into his speech. One recommendation I would have for him, since we are in a hybrid scenario where the stage is vertical and we also have an offline audience, is that if he walks around too much, he has the proclivity to get out of stage. And I was noticing him getting cut off for the online audience. And that is one thing I would like him to incorporate. When you're moving around on the stage, it is very important that you move with certainty. If you move, I don't know, if you're shaking around, going to and fro, it is tough for me to see that you actually have any conviction in your own story, in your own message. And that is one thing that I would like him to incorporate. He used great vocal variety, he used great usage of words, which I'll come to in my grammarian report. And he also used the word of the day. And he used very incredibly his voice. I would like him to incorporate more use of the stage. He's using the stage right now, but I want him to use it intelligently. Stop in the right places, move in the right places. And when there is time to press on something, pause for a second. And that is how you can deliver a speech with incredible impact. He delivered a great speech today. I see a lot of growth in him already, and I'm hopeful to see his coming speeches. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aryan. Moving on to the second evaluator for today for the second speaker, which was Toastmaster Vidhu. So I would now like to call upon Toastmaster Anshuman, who will be delivering the evaluation for Toastmaster Vidhu's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Kansha. The Toastmaster Vidhu today emphasized the need for less is more. And did she land her message? Definitely yes. So Toastmaster Vidhu took us to the days where we had resource constraints. We had to live by what we had, and the abundance of gadgets or Instagram reels or access to thousands of restaurants that we have right now was not available. And we had to live in a space where just hanging around with friends or family members or just moving around was resourceful enough to keep us engaged and busy all through the day. And she did that by narrating different examples, stories, anecdotes, which resonated not just with her, but the audience and all of us. So, definitely contrasting the past with the current helped us understand that the richness and the meaningfulness of the past, contrasting with the present, that which can we pick up the best of the life we had in the past and have a minimalistic life in the present. She made us question that. Not just that, she helped us avail a few tools of how we can go about having a less is more life, where we appreciate the smaller things in life and ensure that we're not going overboard by being by splurging on things which we splurging on activities or things that we don't require. Along with that, Toastmaster Vidhu had a clear, confident voice, shared all her anecdotes and narratives as they should be shared, and went around gently moving through the stage. Where Toastmaster Vidhu can work on is number one, the rhythm of the speech. Toastmaster Vidhu followed a uh, certain rhythm which was consistent throughout the speech. Toastmaster Vidhu can think about varying that through the typical speech tools that we have, including varying the pacing, pausing, the volume part of it, whispering to shouting to just being loud. We have so many tools that we have practiced over a period of time in Toastmasters. I encourage Toastmasters Vidhu to experiment with a few going forward consciously so that there is variety in her rhythm and tonality. And second, I understand that Toastmaster Vidhu prepared the speech at the last moment. However, in Toastmasters, the use of notes and presentation is highly discouraged because we are practicing speaking from our memory and heart. Because then, if we speak from presentation and notes, it becomes much easier. So, if we start at the hardest level, the easier parts where we do have tools and props available, that's just a uh, passing by resource constraint. So definitely overall, Toastmaster can practice rhythm and tonality, can focus, sorry, hurt, can focus on rhythm and tonality. And what is good about his features? Uses of stories, anecdotes, contrasting past with present, and clarity and confidence. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Akansha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. So, for that wonderful evaluation. I guess now it's time for the tag team's report. So, calling upon the timer for today, Toastmaster Nancy, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akansha. So for the speeches, Shaunak took 7 minutes 40 seconds. Vidhu took 4 minutes 40 seconds. And table topics, Nancy took 1 minute 20 seconds. Shiva, 2 minute 29 seconds. Shaunak, 1 minute 40 seconds. Akanksha, 2 minutes 20 seconds. Sanskar, 1 minute 53 seconds. Anshuman, 1 minute 58 seconds. And for the evaluation, Aryan took 2 minutes 50 seconds and Anshuman took 3 minutes 28 seconds. Back to General Evaluator Akanksha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nancy. Moving on to our language evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Aryan, over to you to share your report.
Thank you for that, General Evaluator. So for the R counter today, I actually did not get time to count all of the R's because there was so much for the grammarian. For the R counter, I'd like to give an overall report. I noticed especially one speaker who has really improved on his fillers by taking up the team out role today. Toastmaster Sanskar really reduced over time. He has really reduced the use of fillers in his speech. I remember when he first came around, it was so much tougher for him to stand on stage, and I want to just appreciate that for a second. Going on to the grammarian report, there was a lot of good usages, some bad usages, and some usages of the word of the day. As for the word of the day, Shaunak used it 3 times, Akanksha used it 2 times. As for bad usages, we had after R, it is after an R, after covering an R, so it was mentioned after covering R. Next, we have at the recess, which is during recess. Next, we had our mind need, it should be our mind needs. As for the good usages, we had rejuvenate, we had ideology, we had small moments, we had lifetime mentor, follow their footprint. All of these great usages of different phrases that really communicated what they were trying to say. I also had one recommendation for Toastmaster Shiva, to be Toastmaster Shiva, when you were talking about with whose less is more. You could have said we that when you were young, we only knew less. We never knew more. And I thought that was a great way that you could have explained that same idea. That is it for the grammarian and our counter report. Back to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aryan. So, I believe with that, we've reached the time for the general evaluator's report. So, starting off, I'll try to keep it very, very short. So, starting off, right from the beginning, I guess we've been trying to start the sessions on time, but it has not been happening. And delayed starting means we end the session late and people have time commitments. So, from next session onwards, the next session would be online. At least let's try to start the online sessions on time. It's understandable with the hybrid location or the hybrid sessions that it might take some time to set up the stage and everything. So point number one would be to start the sessions on time. Apart from that, go moving on to the TMOD. So great job, Toastmaster Sanskar. This was your first TMOD role, and you did a good job. I mean, I must say you did a great job because it takes a lot of courage to come up with the theme and prepare the session and remember the flow. However, there's always scope for improvement, right? And in interest of time, let me get to the suggestions straight away. So, Toastmaster Sanskar, today's meeting was, your role was like a parabola. Okay. It started off well, took a dip, and then again you ended it on a high note. So, at least good job there that you were able to start off well and end off well. Beach ka I mean, in the middle, whatever happens, most of the times people don't remember, right? So, good energy in the beginning, interesting theme, and you caught up by the end. Now, one suggestion that I would have for you is considering like we've seen your progress from the past 1 month, you've definitely shown a lot of progress and a lot of perseverance as you've taken up most of the roles. I believe that what you're lacking is more preparation. So just taking up more roles would not be as fruitful as putting in more efforts towards the preparation would. Okay, you will see a spark, a great difference if you start putting in a little more efforts. And for that, I would suggest that try to memorize at least the beginning and the conclusion. Okay, few bits and pieces here, especially for a role like TMOD where you have to drive the entire session and you get enough time, right? You get 1 week's time to prepare for the session, right? So you can start memorizing. I believe that is something that would help you deliver flawless speeches or roles like TMOD, R counter, and a timer. Okay, then okay, another suggestion that I would have for you, that I noticed that there were a lot of pauses. Now pauses are a great tool for a speaker. Okay, you have pauses at the right place and you have the audience with you, but at the incorrect places you might just lose the audience completely. Okay, so you need to work on your pauses, how to use them and where to use them. Next point, the speech title was not spoken. It was not, neither for the audience nor for the nor were the speakers introduced properly. So for the next TMOD role, for you as well as for everybody, a reminder that the TMOD is supposed to call upon the speaker and deliver his speech title. And the format would be, let's suppose it's Toastmaster Vidhu. So Toastmaster Vidhu, speech title, Toastmaster Vidhu. Okay. Apart from that, great job. Keep it up. Looking forward to more of your sessions and really looking forward to the next TMOD role that you take up. Great theme. Moving on to the tag team for today. So my tag team, the timer and the language evaluator, we were missing one person, and Aryan had to take up the role of the R counter as well as the grammarian. So I can understand that it gets a little overwhelming because there is so much to do for a grammarian as well as for the R counter, right? Now, for you, Toastmaster Aaron, I would say that you started off well. You explained the role, what you're going to be doing, and what you would do as our counter as well as the grammarian. Okay. However, there is a lot of scope in these roles that come from the tag team and the TMOD roles, the role players that we have, and one of the key things that I believe that we can work on, all of us, would be to start taking up these roles a little more seriously. Okay, our counter and grammarian role, there is a lot of scope to improve our active listening. Okay, you pointed out the good usages. You noted down that Toastmaster Sanskar had less accounts. However, I believe that you could have picked up a few more R's and Ums, especially for the table topics. Evaluation, you yourself were delivering an evaluation, so that's understandable. But at least for the table topics, you could have listed down the accounts. Matlab, I believe that I had a few ums and so's. Apart from that, we can also have a phrase of the day. Like I saw that people use the word of the day generously today. There were a lot of instances where people used it. And again, Toastmaster Aaron also encouraged all of us to use the word of the day. I would again like to reiterate the point that the word of the day should be used as much as it can be. And today's session and the theme and the table topics that revolved around the theme also, and the word of the day was also related to the theme. So I would encourage again everybody to please start using the word of the day more and more. Apart from that, great job, Toastmaster Aaron. There were a few more good usages of the words that you could have pointed out and picked up more. So the next time you take up the language evaluator role, I will be keeping an eye out and listening out and expecting a little bit more from you in your report. Moving on to the timer, Toastmaster Nancy. I cannot see her, but I believe she's there. Okay. So, Toastmaster Nancy, what an irony today it was that our timer was late for the session. So, let us try to at least have the timer on time. And Toastmaster Nancy, you have been picking up really well. But I believe that now it's time where, we expect a little bit more from you, given the number of sessions and the meetings that we've had now, and you have been a part of Toastmasters, right? So again, Toastmaster Sanskar, this is a point for you also, and Toastmaster Nancy as well. Try to pick up on the flow of the session, who will come up next, who you're supposed to hand over the session to, right? As a timer and as a TMOD, it should be clear that, next the GE will come up, or now the evaluator will come up, or now the speaker will come up. So I believe maybe sit with your mentors, have 1 or 2 sessions with them, get to know the theme, and your mentors would be able to help you in a much better way and tell, the places where you need to put in more work. uh, Great report though. You had a detailed report. All the timings were introduced properly, like you explained your role as well. So great job there. Uh, yeah, just try to be a little more prepared, especially because the timer's role, it was fixed, right? We know for the past 1 week that the timer would be you. So maybe you could have a little more preparation and little more efforts towards these role. And one suggestion that I have overall for our club for the timer role is that we could start having the timer cards printed out, and we can keep them at the location, like we know that hybrid meetings happen every alternate week, so we can print out the red, yellow, green, blue cards so that they can be presented well. It gets a little hectic because Toastmaster Nancy is presenting the phone, coming up, going there, and that way we can face the camera towards the timer. It would be visible to everybody. Overall, great job, Toastmaster Nancy. A little more efforts, and you will be killing and acing all the roles like you have been doing up until now. Okay, so now moving on to the table topics and the TTM. So, table topic master, Toastmaster Harsh. Topics were great. I mean, they were all related to the theme. Even a novice speaker who, said we've seen struggle, the topics were so great that everybody was able to cook up a story and speak for at least a minute or a minute and a half. So, great job done there on the selection of the table topics. And talking about the introduction, I believe that you had no introduction about what the table topic master is, what is this segment about. So from next time onwards, whatever role you're playing, maybe you have a short introduction about it. Like as a table topic master, I will be giving out table topics. You're supposed to speak for a minute or a minute and two. Okay. And apart from that, not because I can understand that all of us in today's meeting are Toastmasters and we have an idea of what happens. To challenge yourself, you can start having the introduction around the theme. Okay, you could have tied down the table topic master's role to the theme inspiration, on how inspiring it could be, or that you will gain inspiration. Anything that you could have, there was a lot of scope. So I would encourage you to have an introduction related to the theme for the next role, whatever you take up. Apart from that, good active listening. You had something valuable to add to after the table topic was delivered. So great job there. This is something I struggle with, and you did that fantastically. So great job there. Moving on to the table topic speakers. Toastmaster Nancy was the first speaker. Toastmaster Nancy, again, great job. You just spoke for a minute and a minute and a half, and you are showing great progress with the table topics. One suggestion that I have for you is to try to have a personal story. Whenever you have a topic, maybe start practicing more table topics, with your mentor, and try to have a story. So, what happens is when you add a personal story, the message that you're trying to give with your speech or the table topic, which in itself is a 2 minute long speech, it is, it is captured by the audience in a much better way, and the audience will be able to retain what you spoke about. So that would be one suggestion. Moving on to the second speaker, table topic speaker, soon to be Toastmaster Shiva and ex Toastmaster Shiva. Uh, Toastmaster Shiva. I mean, that was a wonderful table topic. So it was, you had a great recall value, which showed that you have great active listening skills. You tied your table topic to Toastmaster Vidhu's speech, which was just delivered a few minutes ago. So great job there. It was really interesting to watch that. And I must say that you have a very calm, composed, and a serene stage presence. Like, you have the art or the talent to command the audience's interaction, attention. And by the way you were speaking, you had very natural hand gestures. You had a great stage presence in terms of body language as well. There was not a lot of shuffling. You moved through, you covered the stage very beautifully. And at times when it was needed, and I must say that you have an aura that makes people want to listen to you. I must say that I'm eagerly waiting for you to join our club so that we can watch and learn. The message was great. Like within 2 minutes, you spoke about so many things. You covered the topic, and everything was on topic as well. And I actually have no suggestions for you. So great job and a flawless table topic that you delivered. Can't wait to see more of you, Toastmaster Shiva. Moving on to Toastmaster Shaunak. I guess Toastmaster Shaunak is not here, so I'll give him my pointers on chat and I'll reach out to him separately. Moving on to Toastmaster Sanskar. Toastmaster Sanskar was the fourth table topic speaker. Great, great job, Toastmaster Sanskar. I mean, the progress that we've been seeing you make with each table topic, and the last table topic that you delivered yesterday, a point that Toastmaster Sanskar and I attended Amex's session yesterday, which was from 3 to 4, and Toastmaster Sanskar delivered a table topic there. Huge improvement from the last table topic to this one. You showed quick thinking. It was well structured, it was on topic, you had a story, and it went in a logical manner, and there were very few accounts and ums and so's and pauses. So great job on this table topic, Toastmaster Sanskar. One suggestion that I have for you, however, would be that the ending again today was a little abrupt. Okay, so try to conclude and have a conclusion in your table topics. Okay, how do you do that and where do you do that? Maybe once you see the yellow card, that would be the time for you to start wrapping up your story and give just a one line conclusion. Okay, just a one line conclusion. Okay, yeah, that would be it. Moving on to the fifth table topic speaker, the sixth table topic speaker, I believe, Toastmaster Anshuman. Again, it was flawless. It was perfect. It was very crisp. You had an introduction, you had a body, you had a story of how you went to the theater, could not sit through the movie. And we all know that Bombay Velvet was a bomb that was, thrown all upon all of us. And you also had a conclusion. I mean, again, I have no suggestions for you. It was perfect and it was flawless. So great job, Toastmaster Anshuman. Moving on to my evaluators for the day. Toastmaster Aryan. So, Toastmaster Aryan. One point for everybody to note that in case if the TMOD fails to, introduce or give the topic, I believe it should fall upon the evaluator, because both of you are experienced enough to know that, yeah, there has been something that was not supposed to happen, right? So, Toastmaster Aryan and Toastmaster Anshuman, you guys as evaluators could have taken up the lead to introduce the speech title for the speaker. So maybe we can keep this point next time in mind for the next session. And okay, Toastmaster Aryan, the evaluation that you delivered, it was beautiful to watch. I mean, just a treat for the eyes. It was delivered just like a speech. You covered the stage, you had hand gestures, you had expressions, and you had a great vocal variety. So evaluations are supposed to be delivered like speeches, and you did a wonderful job with the delivery aspect of the evaluation. You had the introduction, you listed down the positives, there was a technical mishap that happened, and there was a good cover up that you had. And that too, it was inspired from Shaunak's speech only. So that was a positive that you were talking about. Great quick thinking there. That was amazing to watch. Then you had suggestions as well. Uh, so one point or a few points that I would have for your evaluation would be number one, would be to include a transition. So when you're moving on from the positives to the suggestions, you could have a transition, like something like, this was a beautiful speech. However, nothing is perfect in this world, and perfection is an ideal case scenario. And talking about reality, here are the few suggestions I have. Okay, or a smooth transition, you can look them up, and or you can discuss, you can pick up something from the speech itself. Okay, or something like, you planted beautiful seeds, however, to water them, I have a few suggestions that would make your plant blossom or bloom. Okay, so you can have a transition which would make your speech much better. Okay, and yeah. So another suggestion that I have for you is, so you had one suggestion in the, or you can say the challenges that you would like to give to the speaker. Maybe try to have two and two. Okay, like following the CRC approach, you should have at least two or three positives and two or three suggestions minimum. Okay, I would like for you to challenge yourself to start giving more suggestions and how the speaker can work on that. For example, you spoke about the stage coverage, right? That Toastmaster Shonak has a tendency of moving out of the screen, right? So you could have given him a challenge or a suggestion on how he could stay on the screen, right? Maybe fix a few points and what he could do to, overcome that. Apart from that, it was a beautiful evaluation. Moving on to Toastmaster Anshuman. Toastmaster Anshuman, again, you had the introduction, you had the positives, you had the suggestions, you followed the CRC approach. So that was great. You also had the summary. Now, a few suggestions that I have, again, which would be on the similar lines as what I told for Toastmaster Aryan. The transition was missing. So as evaluators, all of us can, start to work on having a transition when we're moving from the positives to the recommendations. And again, the same point, on how the speaker can work on the suggestion that you're giving. Okay. For example, you talked about that Toastmaster Vidhu had the dependency on the notes. A suggestion, like how to reduce that dependency would have helped not only Toastmaster Vidhu, but everybody. Like, even I have a tendency of referring to notes. Toastmaster Aryan used the notes for the evaluations. Toastmaster Sanskar struggled a bit here and there. So that suggestion, especially coming from experienced Toastmasters like you, would really help all of us. Uh, Yes, and yeah, so that was it for Toastmaster Anshuman. Now, a few pointers in general for the evaluators, whoever would be taking up the role next. Again, to reiterate, number one, try to have a transition. Number two, try to have at least two positives and two suggestions or the recommendations. Number three would be whenever you're listing down the recommendations, try to point out where, and how. So where would be like where the speaker did not have a good tonality, or where in the speaker's speech was the scope to include more expressions. You could show them, right? Because we're all learning here. Just by reading about something or listening to something, the scope for attention is much less. Whereas if you show somebody, like, like instead of, you could have shown the expression of shock. So you yourself can include that expression of shock in your evaluation. That would add to the expressions and the vocal variety and the expressions in your speech as well. And number four would be how, right? Like where to incorporate that and how to work on that. Okay, let's suppose if somebody is struggling with eye contact, so how could somebody work on improving the eye contact, right? For example, you can tell that, you can fix 3 points on the stage, or you can, to have better contact in an online setting, look at the camera and do not look at the speakers, because that is where the eye contact is lost, right? And for a hybrid or for an offline setting, you can have 3 points. One would be the center of the stage, then to the left of the stage, and to the right of the stage. So you can start incorporating the suggestions of how the speaker can work on them and achieve that. um I believe I have covered everything now. So, yes, that was my general evaluators report for today. Great session. And today, I must say that we had good attendance. Everybody had roles, and we had almost all the role players. So, great job. Let us keep it up and let us just try to improve the quality of the sessions as much as we can. So, my bad. Would somebody like to correct me? Who do I hand over the stage to now?
Yvonne.
Okay. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanskar. Thank you, everybody.
I think we have been over our time limit now, so we should now conclude the meeting. And I would like you to pick those few habits which I have been telling you today, few goals, and strive to be the person you want to be. So now I would like to now hand it over to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Aryan.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that we have all of these people offline today. I don't think I've seen these many people in this room in many months. And it was a very lively meeting. And I'm glad we have so many people online, so many people offline. We took up all the roles. It was an inspiring session. We took up challenges. We persevered through them. Random phone calls came in. It was quite stressful for me. But I think it is time now that we close the session. I would like to first call upon our guest today to deliver his feedback for the meeting. So with that, over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So, well, in the interest of time, I won't take much time here, but it's a fantastic day with a lot of energy for me to take away with young, energetic people. So, especially, I don't want to mention anybody, but fantastic performance. For sure, I'll be coming very often from here after. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all for attending BBTMC meeting. Oh yeah, we also have the votes. Toastmaster Anshuman, are we not having the voting? Yes. Toastmaster Anshuman.
Yes, yes.
Is he not here? Yeah. Okay. Toastmaster Anshuman, maybe we can have votes next time. We can set up the Google Forms for the.
Toastmaster, we can do a private voting because how do we coordinate the offline online, right?
Yeah.
Or you collect the votes there, I can collect the votes here.
I think we're already over time. Let's set up a different structure, maybe for hybrid meetings, voting. We'll
Right.
implement it from next time onwards. But yes,
Yeah.
thank you very much for attending right beginning Toastmasters meeting 261. And with that,